guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Audrey. I love to share lifestyle, cooking, cleaning videos. I have two beautiful little girls, Callie Rose and Anovalie, and today for you I have filmed a What's for Dinner. I post new videos every Thursday and Sunday, and I'd love for you to join the family. On Monday, we went ahead and made crepes, and I absolutely love crepes. I'm actually French Canadian. If you missed my Q&A, I'll go ahead and link it down below for you guys to watch. I love both savory and sweet, so I decided to go ahead and make both. I cut up some strawberries, and you're gonna see later on in the clip, I also cut up some bananas, but I usually just wait till last minute to cut those up. My daughter, Callie Rose, loves to help me in the kitchen. She just turned 3, and she does such a good job trying to help and copy mom. So I went ahead and made the crepe mix right after cutting up some strawberries because it does need to chill in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes prior to making it. And it took some eggs, some milk, some vanilla, some flour, sugar, melted butter, and you just mix it really well until everything is well combined. So I went ahead and cut up some green onions, and I shredded some Colby Jack cheese, and then I went ahead and started to make the crepes. Now I used 1/4 of a cup and I swirled it around. I tried to get as many angles of this as possible for you guys. I wait until it's ready to easily peel up, and then I do a nice little triangle or triangular fold. And honestly, they just turned out so good. So you'll see me swirl it around the pan until it covers as much as possible of the bottom of the pan. And then you want to slowly peel it up and flip it over. And crepes are so easy. They just take a little bit of time because you can only do one crepe at a time. So just, you have to kind of plan for that. However, if you wanted to make these early, you could, and then you can store them in the refrigerator. I just do that, and I keep them in this triangular shape, and then you can just pop them in the oven for just a little bit to warm them back up. And honestly, that's what I did for the rest of the week because I ate these every single day. This batch made a lot. It made nearly 20 crepes, and they were so good. So once I was done making all my crepes, I did go ahead and I made some hollandaise sauce and some eggs for the savory crepe. And these were absolutely delicious. I definitely recommend you trying these. And I just melted some Hershey bar because I did use Nutella for both Corrie and I. However, it does have hazelnut, and one of my daughters has an allergy, so I just went ahead and melted chocolate so that theirs could be the same as ours. And I put inside our sweet crepe some strawberries, bananas, and on the top I topped it with whipped cream, strawberry, and raspberry. And for the savory, I had egg, ham, and hollandaise sauce, and topped it with more hollandaise sauce and some cheese and green onion. On Tuesday, if you have seen my other What's for Dinner videos, we always do some type of Mexican food on Tuesdays. And I absolutely love doing Taco Tuesday, but I like to switch it up. And this week we switched it up to make Mexican pizzas. Fun fact for you guys, I worked at Taco Bell for 3 years, so I definitely know how to make these. However, we improvised because we do not have that amazing pizza taco, like the top of that sauce for those Mexican pizzas are so good from Taco Bell. And so we used enchilada sauce. For my beans, I always add some milk to them to make them the consistency that I like. And so it makes it a little bit more creamy, easy to spread. And I warmed it up on the stovetop. I went ahead and I had already browned some beef like you saw and seasoned it really well. Then you want to spray a pan and spray the top of, I use flour tortillas here. And you're just going to pop it in the oven and flip it halfway through. So during that time, I went ahead and I cut up my green onions and my tomatoes while the tortillas warmed up in the oven. And now you want to kind of get that golden brown to your tortillas because you want them ideally to be a little bit harder, not so soft. And so I went ahead and got everything ready during that time, and then it was really easy to assemble and put together. You are going to end up throwing the pizzas back in to the oven so that the cheese can melt, because you'll top it with enchilada sauce and some cheese. You can definitely change this up and add more to the top if that's what your family likes or if that's what you like. It is such an easy meal and it's such a fun alternative. So of course I had to cut it with a pizza cutter, just like pizza, and everyone got individual little slices and it was perfect. And I wanted to just pair it with something simple this night, and we had some spicy Dorito chips, which I love. I think they're a little bit too spicy for the girls, so they wanted something similar, so I gave them some Cheetos with pear and orange. And this was just perfect, simple dinner idea if you guys need an easy night. On Wednesday, I was so excited to make this meal. This was actually one of my students' suggestions to make this meal, so I went ahead and tried it. I first started off with the buns, and we do Rhodes rolls, the Texas style, and you have to kind of prepare it ahead of time. It takes 3 to 5 hours to rise, and so you want to cover them and make sure you spray really well. You'll see it when I go to take this off. It's stuck just a little bit, so I need to spray more next time. But this is called cracked chicken. It kind of sounds funny, the name, but I went ahead and I seasoned my chicken and I topped it off with some ranch. Now, if I make this again, the ranch dip seasoning, I would probably only use half of this seasoning mix, just because for me and my family, it was just a little bit salty, and I know that those packets can have quite a bit of salt to them. Then I added just a little bit of water so that the chicken and the consistency would be what I wanted later. And I topped it off with some cream cheese. Now this just made the house smell amazing. And I got this ready. It cooked for about 4 hours, so it was perfect with the rolls to rise. Now, when it was time for dinner, about an hour before we wanted to eat, I went ahead and I peeled a sweet potato, some carrots, and I had purchased some Brussels sprouts. I roasted all of those that night, and it was delicious. I couldn't even tell you the last time I purchased Brussels sprouts. Usually that's just not a vegetable that I buy. So I went ahead and I diced everything up, oiled a pan, added some olive oil, seasoned it, and threw them in the oven. So this recipe calls for some bacon, so I quickly put some bacon on a pan. Now, if you're like me, I like to buy a specific bacon. And with everything going on, sometimes they just don't have the things that you need at a store. And so I purchased a different brand. I didn't like how it cooked as much, but it's okay. It's fun to kind of try some new things or things that you don't usually pick up or a different brand. Let me know, do you guys have a specific bacon you guys like? Usually I buy the Black Label, Applewood, or just original. I love the Black Label bacon. So I went ahead and I shredded. Did you guys see that free facial? I'm just kidding. I love opening a crock pot up and just all the steam pops up right away. So I went ahead and I shredded it up, added some bacon to the top and some shredded cheese. I went ahead and I tried to break up the bacon the best I could, just evenly all on top of the chicken. And this just looked so delicious. I could eat it right out of the crock pot. I went ahead and I took out the vegetables and they just roasted perfectly. And I popped the bread into the oven. You could see that it stuck just a little bit, and that middle one had a little bit of frost on it, and so it just didn't rise as well. That's okay. This night though, we just made them into kind of like little sliders or burgers, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, sandwiches. And I had also made some macaroni and cheese, topped mine off with some melted cheese, and the girls loved it. They eat this really well. On Thursday, it was a really quick dinner and it was to go. So I got everything laid out here and I had prepped it earlier that day. So I quickly had made some bacon that day for my family if they wanted bacon in their wraps. And I had cut up some tomato and some lettuce and we just had wraps. And the reason this night I wanted to prep it early is I really want to try to incorporate supporting small business into every single week. During this time, I just know that there's a lot of small businesses hurting. It definitely has hit home for our family, and I just feel for every single person who's having to deal with, these hard times. So I went ahead and I filled the tortilla up with some lunch meats, ranch, some pickles, lettuce, tomato, cheese, and bacon. And these were so fun. It was just a super quick dinner idea, and you can really put any side with a wrap. It's just such a good lunch. We actually had these for lunch that next day. I also threw in an avocado, and my daughter was hilarious. She was looking at the avocado. We don't have it that often, and so she was saying, "Nope, Mom, this one's gonna be yours, I think." She was definitely playing around with it, being silly. So I went ahead and I cut the wrap because my daughter's only ate half of a wrap, and I paired it with some strawberries and pretzels and wrapped them. Took them to go, and we went and we supported a local, the Cold Stuff. Absolutely an amazing ice cream shop, and they're just the sweetest people, and we enjoyed an ice cream cone and a picnic out in the back of our car. On Friday, I made these popcorn chicken, and we will definitely be making these again. We had it 2 nights for dinner. On Sundays and on Saturdays, as you probably saw on my board at the beginning of this video, we do leftovers just because I cook every single night and I don't like to waste food. So we actually had this again on Saturday. I went ahead and I peeled some potatoes and I cut them up because I was making homemade French fries in our deep fryer. And these come out so good. I think it's definitely worth the time of cutting up the potatoes, peeling them to get this perfect French fry. I just love homemade fries. We do a lot of the frozen, and those are really good, but sometimes you just need those homemade French fries. So I went ahead and got those prepared, and I do use kind of like a deep bowl. I cut them all up and then I cover it with water just to keep them nice and fresh while I get everything ready. I went ahead and made the mix. It's egg and milk, and you mix that up. You do flour, and I did add seasoning to the flour later on. I just did not show that in the video. And you crunch up the cornflakes, which is the secret ingredient to these popcorn chicken nuggets. They are so good. Makes it like fried chicken, but a little bit healthier. And then I went ahead and seasoned the cornflakes, and you can really season it with anything you like. Our family loves a lot of seasoning, and so I added quite a bit of seasoning, and you want to make sure that they're crunched up, but not completely, if that makes sense. You still want some good sized pieces in there. I went ahead and I cut up my chicken into small pieces. I tried to make them about the same size bites for everybody, and it made quite a bit. So you'll see 4 chicken breasts, but I actually only cut up 3 because I realized it was making a ton. You gotta do a little dance with the chicken. That's what the recipe calls for. No, I'm kidding. Okay, after you dance with your chicken, you prep them. So you dip them first in the egg milk mixture and then into the cornflake mixture. You can do this one at a time. It kind of takes forever, so I like to do a few at a time. You want to make sure that you press in the cornflakes and completely cover them so that each piece has like the same amount on it. And then I covered with parchment paper just some trays, and it made 3 full trayfuls. So it was definitely enough for both Friday and Saturday's meal. Halfway through cooking the chicken, you're going to want to flip them so that each side is cooked thoroughly. And I did switch around some of the pans so that the bottom ones didn't burn. I went ahead and I threw the French fries into our deep fryer. You want to make sure that all the water is off of them pretty good. I just love our deep fryer. I think it's such a quick and easy way to fry things. Now, while those things are cooking, I did go ahead and make a salad. I will say that you don't have very much time. The chicken and the French fries just don't take that long, and so having an easy side like this salad was perfect. This is our chipotle salad that we buy. I absolutely love it, and we actually mix the chipotle sauce, which is a little bit spicy, with some ranch, and I just think it's the perfect mix, and it looked so pretty. French fries turned out absolutely perfect with that golden brown. It just tastes amazing, guys. Let me know if you guys try this. Definitely tag me on Instagram if you don't follow me already. I post pictures as often as possible of our family, and I love to share it with you guys and communicate. I did warm up some nice barbecue sauce, and I absolutely loved it. This was definitely one of my favorite meals this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next one.
Chocolate. You put chocolate in. I love chocolate in there. You mix it.